Okay, because it definitely wasn't recording. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, Originally Drew. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And let's get right into this video. So I actually wanted to post my DC vlog, but I have a lot of schoolwork that I have to do, so I really can't do that right now. So today I'm gonna decide. Today I decided to do a just how to become a better child, or like a better teen, whatever it is. I want to do this series like how to become a better, and then like it's going to go over some topics. So I'm gonna start with how to become a better child. I'll probably do more of these videos because it's so much. It's like such a complex topic about becoming a better child to your parents, for your parents, and for yourself too. So I'm probably going to do multiple videos on this topic, and then I'll probably do how to become a better student, how to become a better person, how to become a better Christian, and all these different types. I might even do some more than those 4 or 5 topics I just said just now, but I'm just going to start with how to become a better child. So I'm really just winging it. I don't have any notes like I usually do. I'm really just winging it right now. So sorry if I seem all over the place and unorganized. And you know what it did? You know what it did? Well, it's not dead. It's just dying. I don't know what's wrong with it. I might be thirsty. So the first thing I think to become a better child is to want to do it. A lot of times people be like, you can't help a person who doesn't want to help themselves, and that is 1,000% accurate. You cannot help someone who doesn't want to help themselves, and if you don't want to help yourself, you cannot get help, and you will not be able to help yourself if you don't actually want to do it for yourself. So the first thing I think that's important is to want to get help. Like, have the desire, like, I want to do better for myself, for my parents. And I don't really think that becoming a better child should always be all about, like, I want to become a better child for my parents. I think that you should want to do it too. Because some people, they're just like, I'm just going to be a good child for my parents, but that actually eventually backfires because it's not really about you. And you also don't want to become a people pleaser. Like, you don't want to always be, you do want to please your parents, but you don't want to, like, that shouldn't be your whole life. Like, I just want to please everybody. And even things I want to do, I don't do because I'm trying to please somebody else. So the first thing I think is wanting to become a better person. The second thing I think is starting. So I started off, I realized that I wasn't a good teen when I was about 13, and I was like, I can't really do this anymore. It's getting tiring. I know what path, because I've seen other people lead on a bad path and not have a good relationship with their parents, and I said I don't want that to be me, because I'm a good kid, but I'm just doing bad things, and I really just don't want to keep doing this. So I just stopped, like, honestly, and that takes a lot of willpower. Some people don't have that, but I think that telling somebody, like, oh, especially if your parents, like, tell your parents, I really want to be better, please help me. If your parents are reasonable individuals, they'll probably help you. Tell, hey, mom, dad, whoever you live with, because it could not be your parents. Maybe you live with your grandparents or something, or your uncles or something. And just say, I just want to become a better child, and what do you think will help me become a better child? Also, it's important to listen to insight from your parents or whoever, you live in the house with. If your parents say, hey, I would appreciate it if you did more chores versus playing video games, take that in consideration. You may love playing video games, but how about you make a deal with yourself? I only play video games if I get one chore done. So if I wash the dishes, I'll have 30 minutes to play video games today. Just little stuff like that, you don't realize how much that helps you. And also giving yourself a reward, particularly not food as a reward, something else, but giving yourself some type of reward also is very helpful. So right now we're at wanting help, beginning, and also communicating with your parents that you want them to help you. The fourth tip is keep trying, keep doing it, because sometimes it'll be hard. you might go out with your friends, or you might be on social media and you'll see something, you'll be like, dang, I want to go back to my old ways. But definitely remember, remember in your head, okay, this, what I'm doing right now, my relationship with my parents is starting to get better, and I don't want to put that in jeopardy or put that at risk for a few minutes of fun, or a few minutes of, of just entertainment versus having my parents' trust and respect. Also think about what you broke. Like, usually when you're doing the wrong thing, you break trust in your parents. That, for me, was something I constantly broke. Like, it was trust for me. That's funny, the way I said it. But it was the trust for me that I broke in my parents. Like, they didn't trust me as much because I would say I would do something and then I wouldn't do it. So, if you notice that's what I'm lacking, or that's what I'm doing wrong, take that in consideration and say, okay, my parents' trust is constantly broken. Well, I wasn't sneaking out the house, but I'll use this as an example. I've been telling my parents I won't sneak out the house anymore, and then I keep doing it. And they keep catching me, coming in at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, take that in consideration. Say, Mom, Dad, I want to sit down and have a conversation. Maybe if it's something like, hey, Mom and Dad, I feel like 9 o'clock is too strict of a curfew. Maybe you can do 9:30 or 10. And I'll get better friends, or like better, more responsible friends is what I mean, who won't drag me into stuff, and I'll also be responsible. Like, I'll say, okay, nope, 9:45, I'm heading home because I know 10 o'clock is my curfew. So things like that, definitely I think communication is really key. I don't know if I actually did it. I don't know if I communicated with my parents that I want to become a better child, but I did say, like, I promised to do something, and I stuck to that, because you don't want to be a chronic liar. And at one point, I was a person who just would lie about a lot of things. Like, things that wasn't really even necessary to lie about, I would just lie. And that was really, really, really bad. That was terrible. And it was hard for my parents to trust me because I was lying. And so I think those, I don't know, I guess I gave about 5 or 6 tips, but I think those things, my throat is so dry, I'm sorry. I think those things are very important when it comes to becoming a better teen or child. Another thing is, if you're a teenager, once your parents give you that trust and they see that you're responsible, don't start going off and doing the same stuff again behind your back. Like, really, it's difficult. Like, trust me, I know. I'm not, like, I'm not saying this because I'm past this point where I never want to do anything wrong anymore, because I'm not. I know how difficult it is to just be like, Dad, I just want to. But once your parents begin to trust you, don't go back, because eventually you're going to get caught. Now, you may be like, oh, but I'm so great at hiding stuff, or, whatever it is. You're going to get caught eventually. And then your parents are going to really question, were you just doing this as a fake? And then it's just like that whole trust they built up in you just gone again. So, yeah, so I just think that once you get to that point of trust, keep doing the right thing, keep going. If you're having problems, speak to your parents, say, hey, Mom and Dad, I'm having, like, for example, if your parents don't allow you to date, but you met this guy or girl who you really like, and you're like, I want to date them, but, I know I shouldn't, bring that to them, because your parents actually, if they're reasonable people, they would actually love to hear, I resisted temptation because I knew that this was wrong, or this was against your rules. I said no to this guy or girl who I really liked because I knew that I'm not allowed to date. And maybe your parents can come to a compromise. They can say, you can't date this person, but maybe you guys can go out as a group with some other friends and hang out. Or maybe he or she can come by for dinner and we can get to know them. And maybe in the future, once you're old enough to date, you can. It's things like that. It could be even something smaller. It could be like, hey, Mom, I really wanted to, I don't know, let me think something. I can't think of anything. Like, hey, Mom, I really wanted to stay out extra 30 minutes with my friends last weekend when we were at the movies. But I knew that curfew was 10, so I came back at, I was back home at 10 on time. But, maybe if it's like a night like that where, I just want to stay a little bit longer, maybe I can just text you and you can just, check up on me and make sure that I'm okay, and maybe you'll give me that extra 30 minutes so I can keep taking on my friends. Like, stuff like that. Once you get to a point of trust with your parents, they're, for the most part, at least my parents, I don't know. Some people's parents are very strict, but I feel like even strict parents, because my parents, I don't know, I guess you could say are strict. I don't really know what, like, let me look up the definition of strict. I don't really know. People say strict, but I'm really not sure what that means. Like, I'm gonna look up the definition. I guess it means, like, how do I have no internet? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so the definition of strict is demanding that rules concerning behavior are obeyed and observed. Okay, so that is actually not a bad word at all. Demanding that rules concerning behavior are obeyed and observed. Yeah, that's not really a problem. My parents do that. I feel like most parents do that, don't they? Yeah. So I think I want to talk about strict parents right quick. My parents are pretty strict. Like, they don't allow me to date. I don't have a phone. I don't go I'm allowed to go out by myself, but I don't do it a lot just because quarantine, and I really didn't do a lot before quarantine because I was only like 14 or something, so I didn't really go out a lot by myself. But I'm not like allowed to have sleepovers at friends' houses. But I think that all of those rules are actually for my safety. Some people may be like, oh my gosh, how do you live without a phone? But it's not like I live in a box where I don't have friends. Like, I don't have friends. So I still have friends. I still talk to my friends. I still go out with them. So I don't even think that the stuff my parents have put in place are really strict. I used to be like, oh my gosh, that makes sense. But, I mean, once, I prove that I'm trustworthy, just going back to the whole thing about becoming a better child, once I prove that I'm trustworthy enough, my parents will probably eventually give me those things. Like, I was just talking with my mom the other day. Well, just to backtrack a little bit, 2 years ago, my parents were going to get me a phone, but I had broke their trust again, and they had caught me in a lie, doing things I had no business doing, and they said, no, I'm not giving you a phone because you're doing this. Now, that was about 2 years ago. No, a year? Yeah, that was about 2 years ago. And now my mom is like, you can get a phone once you need it. So I don't really, like, because of COVID, and I really don't go a lot of places because I don't go to public school. I'm homeschooled, so I'm not really consistently going anywhere out the house. I don't really need a phone because I don't really go out anywhere, like I just said. But my mom, I was just talking to her like a few days ago. She was like, once you need a phone, like once you're consistently going somewhere without us, you'll have it. And my parents trust me to do plenty of other things that kids who have phones, they may not trust them to do. So, for example, my parents, like, I literally just drove on the highway. That'll be in my DC clip, in my DC vlog. So I drove on the highway. They trust me to drive their car. They trust me to drive their cars. They trust me to stay home alone. I have a computer. They trust me to, not be on the internet talking to 50-year-old men, I don't know why that's the first thing I thought of, but they trust me to, stay home by myself, stuff like that. Like, that's trust. Like, if you didn't trust your child, you would not let them stay home by yourself because you would think, okay, this child is going to sneak out the house, this child is going to be doing whatever. But my parents trust me, so I don't really think that, having a phone and trust is simultaneous. Because there's a lot of parents who don't trust their kids, but they won't take away their phone because they know their child will be angry at them. So in any case, that wasn't really what I was trying to talk about. But the biggest thing with strict parents is allowed, or I don't want to say make them see, but build up trust with them. Build up trust with those parents who you think are strict or whatever. Build up trust with them. Keep the trust and communicate with them. Even doing something as simple as once a week, setting up a time, maybe Sunday morning, Saturday night, where you just talk to your parents, tell them, whatever. My friend was like trying to get me to do something nefarious, and I was like, no, I'm good, because I knew that you guys wouldn't approve, and stuff like that. And also another thing is you really have to communicate, because I used to not tell my parents anything. Like, I told them stuff, but the stuff that mattered, I wouldn't tell them. Like, I would tell them, like, they would ask me, how was your day at school? And I would be like, it was good, but it would be like drama, like this girl's dating this guy and all of these types. It would be so much drama, and I just wouldn't tell them anything. I would just tell them, it was pretty good. I had a quiz or whatever. But tell your parents stuff. Like, honestly, tell them. And it doesn't have to necessarily be about you. It can be about somebody else. And I'm not saying like expose other people's business. That's not what I'm saying. But it doesn't have to be about you. It can be about them. And then once you see, okay, my parents are, okay with hearing this. Because it's like, I don't know, some kids don't realize that their parents were kids too. Like, your parents were kids too. Like, your parents did this. Like, the stuff my parents tell me that they did when they were younger, they did this and they did and thought the same exact things I do and think now. Like, my parents are not some, like, dinosaur age cavemen who have no idea. Maybe they don't have the technology aspect of it, like how we have like Snapchat, Instagram, other type of stuff now. But they didn't think the same exact things. Like, they were like, "Ooh, maybe I should sneak over to this guy's house." Like, my parents thought and did the same exact things I'm doing now. Like, like, your parents are not so far gone to the point where they can't relate with you. So honestly, just tell them. So this is gonna wrap up my little. I feel like I was really just talking and being irritating, but let me know if you guys like this video, because I love to hear from you guys and I love the comments. Honestly, guys, when you guys post something or comment something nice, I love to see the energy. I absolutely love it. It puts a smile on my face. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like, and if you didn't enjoy it, dislike, and if you really enjoyed it, subscribe and turn on post notifications. I'm so happy. I'm almost to like 20. I think I'm at 19 right now, but I'm almost to 20 subscribers, and I'm so happy. Y'all don't understand how happy I am to almost be to 20 subscribers. Really feels great. I remember when I was like, nobody's gonna subscribe to me. My channel is lame, but yeah. So it's so great. So see, I almost have 20 subscribers, and I'm just hoping that eventually I'll have 20,000. So hope you guys have a good day, because you really deserve it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.